Tanya Visser, and today we're going to be showing you how to make a funky frame and inside it a terracotta pot with the plant of your choice. It's a great focal point for outdoors, and we're going to show you just how easy it is to make it. This is what we need. The wood that you need for your frame is 100 millimeters by 35 millimeters, which is a standard size available from your local builders. A terracotta pot, a pelargonium or plant of your choice that will go into the pot, any color paint that you require, an undercoat for wood, wood glue, 4 times 50 millimeter wood screws, 2 times 15 millimeter screws, picture frame wire, and 2 Hilti screws. The tools that we're going to need for today are as follows. We need a miter box and a saw. We need a drill, and then we need drill bits for masonry and for wood. We need a screwdriver and a tape measure. Let's start off with the frame. What we need is 2 pieces that end up looking like this, and the most important part is the length. The length is 690 from outer tip to outer tip, so we need 2 times those, and then we need 2 which are 445 from the top down to the bottom. Now, how on earth do you end up with a beautiful angle like this? It's pretty simple. That's where we need the miter box. So the way that you do is you take your piece of timber, pop it into your miter box. And these things are really cool to have around, and they save you a whole lot of trouble. And what you would do is measure from your tip to there, and then based on where your edge is, you would put that into the miter box. Use a 45, and it tells you where the 45 is right here. That is how we're using it. And then you would pop your wooden saw into it and then simply just cut away. By using the miter box, you end up with a perfect 45 degree, and that is really important so that your picture frame ends up looking like a frame which is rectangular and not a rhombus or something like that. So now that we've got these pieces, the next step that we're going to do is we're going to lay them out on our workbench. So let's put them like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is what we're aiming for. Right, next step up, take your wood glue, and we're simply going to add some glue to the edges. Add a nice bit, there we go, pop it on that side, pop a bit on that side, likewise onto here, and we're just going to glue the frame together. So guys, this really is the simplest frame that you can make. 4 pieces of timber. We use the miter box to help us get that beautiful 45 degree that we want. Had our 4 pieces. Remember, measuring distances from point to point. Use some wood glue, stuck them together, and that's going to help us for our next step. Let that dry a little bit. Once it's dried and secured in place, we then do the next step. Next step is to get hold of our drill with our wooden drill bit in place for our screws to get put in, which is going to go in all 4 corners to make sure that our frame is really nice and secure. The only thing that you've got to make sure is just put your screws down so that you can see where you start drilling that it's not going to end up going through the other side of your frame. So if I pop it in here, look at that angle, that's going to be perfect. Get my marker right on here on the corner, and then away we go. This is just going to be the pilot hole that I'm going to drill to allow this little guy to get in easier. Right, my 1 pilot hole is in. All you've got to do is repeat that process 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got your 4 pilot holes ready for the screws. Next step is to take the wooden screws and pop those into the 4 pilot holes that we've drilled around the edge of our frame. All the screws are in. Next step, we are seeing that we've actually got an awesome frame, nice and sturdy. So let's take a bit of sandpaper, and at this point we can literally just smooth off any rough edges, especially where the joins are. And once we're happy with that, give it a bit of a dusting. and then we get to apply our undercoat. Now, with this, you need to apply one coat of your undercoat, let that dry, and then apply your color of choice. And in this case, I've chosen a really awesome cobalt blue. So let's get going with our undercoat first. When going out to your local builders to buy your primer, it's a good tip to buy a multi-application primer. In other words, you can use it on wood, you can use it on metal, and you can even use it on masonry surfaces. So rather get that, got much more uses. Once your undercoat is dried, then apply your choice of your final coat, and in my case, I've gone with this awesome blue. Your final coat will require 2 applications of whatever color you're looking for, because it just finishes it off really nicely. Once your 2 coats have dried, all we've got left to do in terms of our frame is to just attach our framing wire. Now, here it's important that you need to attach it literally as close to the top as possible, not anywhere down it, else you're going to see the wire, and that's not the point. So we've got those 2 little screws. Let's pop them into place, and I'm going to put them just round about here, and don't screw it in all the way. Another one in the same place on the other side. Right, and take your framing wire and then simply attach it and make it nice and tight. Pop that round, fold it over a few times. Same on the other side. Cut off the excess that you don't need. Wrap it round, and there we go. There it is, ready to get hung up on the wall. Our next step is to drill our hole into the terracotta pot, and obviously the hole is there so that you can attach it to the wall or wherever you're requiring it. What is important here is that your drill bit is going to be a large enough aperture so that when you need to hang your pot on to the wall, it is at least a bit bigger than your actual hilty top. All right, that makes sense. And to demonstrate that, let me just show you. When you start drilling into a terracotta pot, drill it where the lip is, because that's one of the strongest parts of the pot. And start your drilling slowly and do it gently. There we have our hole through our terracotta pot, and remember what I said earlier, that at least the top of the screw needs to be able to fit through the hole. Very important. With our frame, we've measured where we need to make the hole in order to hang the frame, and the hole for where we need to hang our pot. So all I'm going to do now with the masonry drill bit is get those 2 holes drilled. The next step is to pop both plugs into the holes that you've drilled, and then we can put the screws in, ready to attach our pot and to hang our frame. And attach our frame, making sure it's awesomely center, and how gorgeous is that looking. And final step is to hang our beautiful terracotta pot with our bright red geranium onto the lower screw, and notice how it just clips in, and you'll balance it, bang, away you go. Awesome cobalt blue frame with funky terracotta pot. Remember, everything you need to make this awesome guy is available from your local builders.